I love reading books, it's fun. I often read them with my mum. I like reading to explore. There's no better way, I'm sure. I love reading. There's so many books to choose. Get on board, you just can't lose. Books expand your mind, it's true. Reading books is good for you.
Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm in London actually, which makes it perfect to do this video because this book 1984 is actually situated in London. So this book is written in 1950, so it's kind of was a future novel at the time. I haven't actually seen the movie, so this was a totally new concept for me. And the reason I've been putting this off for so long, I think I read it almost 2 weeks ago, is because it made me so upset. Politics is really not my strong suit. I'm really just not interested in it, and so that's why this book is kind of hard for me to read. I realize it's a classic, and I'm so happy I read it because then I know what people are talking about. But at the same time, I'm never going to read it again, and I'm not going to go into the literary terms because it probably would be really cool to study this book. It's just not my genre. I like dystopian novels. I think they're really good, but this one by George Orwell is just made me so mad, and since it brought those emotions out of me, it means that it was a good book, but I hate the way it made me feel, you know. So it's basically about this guy called Winston, and he lives in a society. Ooh. Say hi to Coco. She's so sweet. Okay, so he lives in this society where this totalitarian company called Big Brother rules, and basically he works in the department. I don't know what it's called, but there's like different departments, and it's actually kind of cool because like the department of love is like the opposite. It's actually like the department of trying to get love to not exist, and like the department of memory is about like removing all documentations. And his job, this Winston main character's job, is to basically delete anything that Big Brother predicted from the future that was incorrect, and that's basically his job. All he thinks about is the society, and all he like reflects over is the society, and it just gets kind of tiring because there's nothing else that he thinks about, you know. Like, it's not a long book, but as you can see on the text, it's kind of hard to read. I really like my copy. It's completely beautiful, and that's why I also put it in plastic. As you can see, there's loads of stuff that I highlighted that I thought was interesting. I'm not going to talk about them because I think there's like more for my own good, but the first thing I highlighted, which is actually just something that just caught my eye, and it says, she was a woman of about 30, but looking much older. One had the impression that there was dust in the creases of her face. And it's just like the way that's described is basically describing the whole population that lived in this future society, because like there was dust in the creases of her face, like how dull society was when everything was controlled and there was no love and you're not allowed to have your own opinions. And if you know, like, there's such a thing called thought police, which means that if they detect you talking in your sleep or any sign that you're thinking or you have an expression that's kind of like reflects your thoughts, you're basically being caught by the thought police and tortured. And that's what happens to this man Winston. So you're probably already read this book if you're watching this video, and if you haven't, I suggest reading it. But it was just like, I'm not the kind of person who just reads books for the beauty of it because I want to get something out of it, and this book was not good for me. It wasn't helpful for me. It's not true for my life right now. It's actually compared, the book is actually compared to a few totalitarian companies in the past, so that's kind of interesting because there's a lot to like put behind this. I just haven't done anything about it. And so there's 2 other books though that I actually found really similar. So that's Fahrenheit 451. I really like that book, and it's also about like, you know, the destruction of books, and the main character is a fireman who burns books, and that book actually has a happy ending, and I like that book. This one has just a terrible ending because it's not happy at all. Those 2 are written in the 50s, so they kind of like have a similar flair, but the other book is actually really good. And then there is Clockwork Orange, which is such a good book. I think I read it 3 times or something. I really like that book, and it also has sort of like a happy ending. And it's divided into 3 parts, just like this one, which has a part 1, 2, and 3. And they're kind of in a similar way that this one is divided to 3 parts, and the first part and third part are both about him being like captured, even though in the first part he's captured in society that he lives in, and the last part he's captured by the actual society, and in the middle he kind of has the will to think. Well, in Clockwork Orange it's the opposite. In the first part and the last part he's free, and in the middle part he's captured. So I kind of just thought that was cool, like there was a similarity between them. And that's all I have to say for this video. I hope you guys enjoyed it, and I hope you guys all have a lovely day. Next week I will be reading Suicide Notes from Beautiful Girls, and I've actually already read it, so it's an amazing book. I highly recommend it, so please read it for next week, and I hope you guys all have a lovely day. Bye!